Okay, so welcome. I'm going to show you what we did for this client and tell the story of our journey together and what the results were. So, this client came to us from another agency. And she was fluctuating between 10 and 20K months, and she had a goal of getting to 50K months, obviously as soon as possible, because that's what we're all trying to do, right? And she felt like she really had the foundations in place, but it just seemed like she wasn't really getting anywhere. She wasn't super sold on her current agency. She felt like the ads that they were creating, they didn't really resonate with her, but she was trying to just follow their lead and, let them do what they do, and just following along with whatever they were suggesting. And so we decided to work together and see what we could do. So the challenges that she had was that she had plateaued at that 10 to 20K months. She just kept bouncing between there. And she also felt like, like I said, the ads that they were making, she wasn't really resonating with the creatives that they were making, and she felt like it didn't really feel like her. But again, she wanted to just, follow the expert suggestions and see how that went. And she did make sales from the ads. Like the ads weren't, they didn't totally plummet or anything like that, but they just weren't getting her past a certain point. And she was just kind of lost as to what direction to go to break beyond that 20K month. She did have some months where she did break that, but it was never consistent. So it would be when she was doing a random sell or something. The strategy that we decided to go with for starters is, we did a full analysis of her funnel, and we went through all of the analytics, and we found where the leaks are, and we suggested improvements, and figured out really where we needed to prioritize the optimizations. That's a huge part of it, is finding how to prioritize things, because even if you do go through all of the data and you do find the leaks, which is really important, which ones are actually the most important, which ones are the heaviest weight, what do we need to focus on? Because if we're just kind of throwing spaghetti at the walls and jumping around and trying to do everything, it can just make the journey to where we're trying to get to much, much longer, because it's a lot of zigzag movement. And so being able to prioritize those things. I don't believe in putting ads out there that you don't believe in, that don't feel good. I mean, you're blasting something that is your brand, that's representing you. So we want to make sure that you feel really good about it. However many adjustments that we need to make, you can absolutely put something out there that feels like you and feels good. That also does perform really, really well. So there's no need to do anything that feels like slimy or like weird or just uncomfortable. No need for any of that. So we created all new ads completely from scratch, that aligned with her and her brand that she felt really good about. And we also did create a whole new ad strategy and approach. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as well. Um, so the whole journey with those specific things is the funnel measurement and an audit. So we analyzed all of the data. Like I said, we made changes. We did tweak some of the messaging, because what she did, the content that she was offered, that was within her offer, it was actually suitable for multiple different scenarios. So we had to tweak the messaging and figure out which angles actually worked better and were the biggest reasons why her past clients did take her up on the offer. So we did some of the email copy rewrites, added some new emails, and then we also changed the length of her deadline funnel. So she did have a deadline funnel. And sometimes whenever you are transitioning from, which is the case for her, transitioning from a lot of warm audience where, she started out doing mostly organic marketing through her Instagram, and that's where a lot of her leads came from. So a lot of them were a little bit more warm. Then whenever she started to run ads, they're a little bit colder. So we wanted to give people a little bit more time and nurturing and education to make that purchasing decision. So that worked out really, really well. We also, again, created all new ad creative, started from scratch. We made sure that it felt authentic and aligned with her, but also took some of the data and insight that we got from doing the audit, took some of that messaging and also applied it through the ad creatives as well, and created added in that messaging at the right time with those ads as well. So we also created a brand new ad strategy. So since she had the actual data with her funnel, we were actually able to see that she had multiple freebies. And what the previous agency was doing was they were running ads to the freebie that had the lowest cost per lead, which makes sense. We want the lowest cost per lead, right? So that's going to help us get a return in the long run. But they didn't really take into account of, how well were those converting when, up against each other. So what we did was we kind of zoomed out to see what was the actual conversion rate of those different freebies. And you have to really take the numbers of the entire journey as well as you can. Data is not always perfect, right? But we want to take what we have and look at the cost per acquisition rather than just the lead, because what we really care about is cost per acquisition at the end of the day. That's why the cost per lead is even important, but it only plays one part in the entire journey. So we looked at that cost per acquisition, and we had to calculate this balance of all of the numbers to see which, even though there are freebies with lower cost per leads, with the balance of the actual conversion rates and how those funnels perform, how engaged people are, and ultimately how many of those people actually purchase at the end of it. And that drastically changed the ad returns by changing which freebie we were focusing on. We completely changed the different messaging, and we also did a fuller funnel. So we did different retargeting campaigns that also matched the funnel itself. So having different retargeting ads come in at a specific time within the funnel really helps support the emails. So that is what we did with that ad strategy. So the results of all of this, now this is over a few months, is the funnel conversion rate doubled. So like I said, we did an audit, we added some emails, we changed the length of the funnel. We also needed to add in some extra nurturing because these people are colder than the people that came in organically through her Instagram, who might have been following her and watch her stories and learn more about her and things like that. Some of these people that are coming in through ads, they also end up following her on Instagram and get nurtured that way. But we want to make sure that everyone gets nurtured and gets the proper education on the offer, so that they can make a decision. And then we also, of course, circulated ads that she felt good about, and made sure that she didn't feel like she had to use certain kind of copy or something like that that she didn't like, and still was able to hit her goals. She surpassed her 50K month goal. Within 3 months, she was hitting 40K months consistently, and within 6 months, she was hitting 80K months consistently. And whenever she had a sales period, she was as high as 150K months. So she was really happy with that. Obviously, a lot of things changed because her expenses didn't change that much. Her team didn't have to change all that much. And so that was a really, really great thing for her. So it increased her ad returns to a consistent 6x. So before it was more around 2x, and sometimes lower depending on the month, with those fluctuating months, especially the 10K, the lower 10K months. So we were able to get that up. And this is not just the performance of the ads, but also the funnel as well. So here are the specific numbers. If you care to look at those, you can pause this and take a look at, these are the specific campaigns. So we did 2 different freebies, and then we also did a nurture campaigns. Like I said, some of these nurture campaigns have specific messaging that come in at a specific time within the funnel, like whether it's day 3 or day 5 or day 10, things like that. So we did do some of that, and then also the retargeting campaigns that were direct to offer campaigns, and then these were the overall results for those months. So and this is within a month period. So those are the numbers, and if you have any questions, I would love to get on a call, and we can discuss if some of these shifts or these ideas could work for you, or how we could partner together. If we already have a call booked, then I hope that you found this helpful to see what's possible, especially whenever you take the time and go through those few months of really focusing on the funnel and the ads and making sure that everything is aligned and really data backed, because that was a big part of why we had such success with this client is because we really focused on the client, or the data. And the data really shows what you're doing, but also, or what you need to do, but also it's about prioritizing, what makes the most sense. So I would love to connect with you. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. You likely have my website, so my email is on there as well.